Good morning. We are going to be trying to knit a circle today. This was filmed for a project that I was doing on a bottle holder, for the bottom of the bottle holder, but it can be used for any time you need to knit a circle. It's the same concept. Now, I like to start out knitting the circle to start to gather the stitches. I actually like using a crochet hook. You can do it just with the needles. I'm going to show you using the crochet hook today. So you're going to need a crochet hook. That is about the same size as your needles. You will need 4 double pointed needles, all the same size, and of course your yarn. I'm using a sport medium weight yarn. It's number 4 if you go by numbers. I think you would probably call it a sport weight. It's probably really between a sport and a worsted weight. Okay, no matter what, whether you start with, if you're going to just use the needles, or the way I'm going to show you today with the crochet hook, you need to do a slip knot to start. Slip knots are real easy. You take the yarn, wrap it twice around your finger with the tail end on the outside, the working end on the inside. You take the back strand, bring it over the front strand. Do that again, only this time take it off of your finger and pull tight. And there's your slip knot. Nice and easy. Put that on your crochet hook. Okay, now you're going to chain twice. In that first chain stitch you did, you're going to do 6 single crochets. So you're going to go in the hole, pull the yarn out, wrap it around, and go through just one. Don't go through both. Just one. Move the 2 out of the way. You want to get 6 loops on this crochet hook when you're done. So that's 2 loops, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're going to transfer them to 3 of the needles. I use the 3 that are the same color. I actually like using one different color. It makes it easier to stay aware of where I am when I'm doing the things. You're going to put 2 of each of these loops on each of these 3 needles. It's very simple. Just take 2, slide your needle in there, and pull your hook out. That's 1. Take the next needle, slide in the next 2 stitches, and pull the hook out. That's 2. Keep them in order that you're doing it. And the last one, slide the last one in, take the hook out, and we're done with the hook for now. Okay, pull your needles. Now, when you're working in the round with the needles, you're actually kind of working in triangles with this, or you want to think of it as wedges. But now you can see your center circle, which was that first chain, and you have your 2 on each of the 4 needles. Sorry, actually it's 3 needles. The 4th needle is empty, and we're going to use this one now to start the knitting. You always start, you go on to an empty one. That's why you need the 4th to create that, you have to have one to put the new stitches on. Okay, now we just finished with this stitch here. Okay, so the next stitch, because we're going in a circle, that we want to work with is this one, which was actually your first in your other, when you put them on, your first stitch that you did. This one, on this round, we're going to do 2 knit stitches in each loop around. Okay, so let's rotate these so that we see which way we're going. Going to slide the loops down to the end so they're easy to pull off when it comes time. Get my tail out of the way for now. Tuck it out of the way there. Okay, I'm going to pick up this needle and not really worry about these 2 right now. Okay, get my thread ready, and we're going to knit with the empty needle from the bottom through to the back, wrap it around, pull it out. Now we want to do 2 stitches in this, so this time we're going to go from the top again to the back. So it's a knit stitch. We're only doing knit stitches in this. We're not purling at all. Wrap around again, pull it through. Now that I've got the 2 stitches, I can pull the loop off. Now we're going to repeat that again with the last stitch. From the bottom, wrap it around, pull it out. Then we're going to go in the top, wrap it around, pull it out, and take it off. Now this needle is empty. That'll be the next one that we put the next stitches on. You can see this side is done. Now, you want to make sure that you don't switch your needles around. So make sure you pick up the one that should be there. Make sure they're all laying flat, that circle is still straight. Okay, and these are the stitches I just did. These 2, you can see the whole thing's laying flat. So the next stitch I'm going to do is this one. So slide the needles down, move these 2 out of my way, move the tail out of the way, and again, with the empty needle that we just emptied, we're going to knit 2 stitches in each loop. One from the bottom and one from the top. Then we're going to pull it off and repeat. One from the bottom and one from the top. Then again now, lay it out flat. Make sure that you're not twisting anything around. Your circle is flat. Take your next needle. Make sure that you're doing the right loop, not this one, because that would flip it over. So this one, and we're going to repeat it again. 2 in each. One from the bottom, wrap it around, pull it out. One from the top, wrap it around, pull it out. Oh, don't catch the yarn in the way when you stick it in. Make sure you're not catching what you're not supposed to catch. 2, take it off. Next one, one from the bottom and one from the top. And that completes this round. Okay, now you will want to put a marker in so that you remember which needle you should end the round on. Unless, of course, you have 3 different colored needles and can remember it on your own. As I don't, I put a stitch marker in. Now I'm going to just do a simple knit stitch around on all of the sides. Okay, so we're going to start with 4 knit stitches on this round. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then, as I've said before, I like to lay it out in each round to make sure I'm not twisting anything before I move on to my next needle. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, and on to the last needle. One, 2, 3, 4, and remove that stitch marker. Okay, for the next round you're not really going to need a stitch marker because it's going to be an increase round. You only really need the stitch marker for a knit round, we'll call it. This is an increase round. We're going to do, just turn it so we can start on the next one, which is this needle. We are going to do 2 knit stitches in the first loop, then a plain knit, then 2 knit stitches, and a plain knit. And we're going to do that all the way around. So, we have 1, 2, take it off. Next one is just 1, then 2. 1 from the bottom, 1 from the top. Always a knit, never a purl, and then just a plain knit stitch. And now you'll see that we have 2, 4, 6 stitches on it, and the next needle we go to is this one, and we're going to do the same thing. The first one is going to be an increase, which means 2 stitches in there, 1 from the bottom, get the tail out of the way there, 1 from the top, take it off, then just 1 knit stitch, and then an increase again of 1 and 1 from the back, and then 1 stitch by itself. And that gives us again 2, 4, 6 stitches. Now we have the last one that has 4. The reason we don't need the stitch marker when we're doing an increase, so we can always count the stitches to know whether we're on the last needle or if we've completed the round or what. So, go here, from the bottom, from the top, off, that's an increase, just a plain knit, and an increase again from the bottom, from the top, and a knit. Okay, now we've completed all 3 sides. What we're going to do now is put the stitch marker in, because this next round is going to be just knit. So I'm going to put the stitch marker in, and I'm not going to film. I'm going to turn off the camera now and meet up with you after you've done your round of knitting, and we'll pick it up from there. Now I finished the thing and I took off the stitch marker. Okay, now this next one is going to be like the one we did before. Not the plain knit, but the increase one. So we're going to increase, single, increase, single, increase, single, all the way around on it. I'll do one to show you. Okay. So you go in from the bottom, and then in from the top, and take it off. Then you just do a normal knit. Then again an increase from the bottom, from the top, take it off. Regular. From the bottom, from the top, take it off, regular stitch. Okay, now again I didn't use the stitch marker because we can tell by counting the stitches. I now have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Here I have 2, 4, 6. Okay, and here I have 6, 2, 4, 6. Okay, I'm going to continue the increase around. Then I'm going to do a single around where I'll use the stitch marker. I just did another single knit around and took off the marker, and I realized when I was talking earlier that I didn't talk about when there's an odd number of stitches on the round. As this one, you see there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. You have to think of it all as one round when you're doing it. So this first one's going to be a double, 2 knit stitches, then a single, 2, a single, 2, a single, 2, a single, and then it's going to end on a 2. So the next one, when I come over to this one, has to be a single. Then 2, single, 2, single, 2, single, 2, single, and then this one starts with a 2. And on. Okay, and that's every time you have an odd number. Anytime you have any, you have to think of the whole thing as a round. Okay, I'm not going to actually go through the whole round with you, but I will do the first side and into the second with you. So, here is a double, 2 knit stitches in the first stitch, take it off, then a single knit stitch, then double, 2 knit stitches, 1, 2, take it off, single, then a double, 1, 2, then a single, then a double, 1, 2, and then a single, then a double, 1, 2, and that finishes this side for me. Okay, and I'm going to, you can see as I lay it out, as I always do to check, I'm going to this. Now I just did a double, so I'm going to do a single. Then I'll do my double. And you're going to continue this all the way around for the round. Okay, and we'll meet up, as I originally said, when we get to the proper size of the circle that we need. Okay, I have made mine as large as I need to, and as I was doing it, I realized that you have to pay attention, as we did on the odd numbered ones, to the stitches going around. You won't always have the same number once you've had an odd number of stitches added. One side, when you do the next round of increases, will have less increases than in one of the other sides, simply because you're doing it all in a round. Just wanted to remind people of that. Okay, and be aware. You also want to end on an increase round, so that when you knit off, you're just knitting off normal. Okay, which is what we're basically going to do now. Okay, we're going to just knit off just as though it were a regular needle. You'll knit off here and continue around. So as you knit off, you do 2 regular knit stitches. Once you have 2 stitches on the new needle, you take the back one, bring it over the front one, and off. Again, then you knit till you have 2, take the back one, bring it around till you have 1. Okay, and continue with that all the way around. I'll do one more time to show you. Knit, normal, pull that off. Then on the one where you have the 2, you take the back one, pull it over the front one, and off. Okay, and we'll meet up when you have just that last one left. Okay? Okay, I've now knitted everything off. I have that last loop on the hook, and I want to finish it off. I like to finish it off using my crochet hook so that it's connected to that first one. You can just simply put the yarn through and pull tight and finish it like you would however you finish your projects. For a round one specifically, I prefer using the crochet hook. Okay, going to here in that first stitch that we knitted off, I'm going to put the crochet hook in, pull it up and through. It's called a slip stitch in crochet. Then I'm going to take the yarn and pull it through to form a knot, and you want to cut it leaving a big enough tail so that you can sew it around if you're doing the bottle holder. If you're doing it for something else, you'll leave however big a tail you need for your project. I hope this video was helpful in understanding what you're doing in making a circle knitting with your 2-sided knitting needles, 4 of them to make a circle. And as I said, I use the crochet hook to start it and to finish it. So thank you for watching.